when we start looking at the similarities of how these ascended masters or people who are just kind of capable of doing a little bit more, who stood out.
Why are we so obsessed with bloodlines and ruling? And that they made these hybrids that could live longer and have more superpowers. Right? A fraction of our capacity is tapped into. And when I say a fraction of it, we're at less than a third of our potential right now. There's one point to kind of go back to, too, going back on, talking about this and things like that with these longer lifespans that are even mentioned there, right, is, the whole story goes that the Anunnaki were ruling theirself, and that they made these hybrids that could live longer and have more superpowers, right, more advanced beings, and they became the rulers, and then they slowly passed on the baton to the humans. But I wonder if, it's very, it drew the question in my mind of why are we so obsessed with bloodlines and ruling, right? And it's maybe, and I think maybe some people, because when you mix DNA, and they found this recently too, okay, which I'm just going off on tangent. I'm just thinking about this for the first time, FYI. Okay. So, but when you mix DNA, okay. They found in doing a lot more genetic testing that you don't get the same petri dish from both of your parents.
Right. Yes, exactly.
And so, there was once upon a time when I was back in school studying biology, they thought that you get, half your genes from your mom, half your genes from your dad, and that your genes, you should have the same genes as your siblings, but just different things a little turned on or off, but the same type of variety as far as ethnic backgrounds and different things like that. And then, all these DNA kits, it became super easy for people to test, and they completed the genome, and then all of the stuff and mapped it out. And then they found that a brother and sister from the same two paternal parents would have a completely different ratio mix of their background histories.
Sure.
And some might have let's say, 34% Scottish, and their biological sibling has 10% Scottish.
Right.
And it was interesting, right? And so one of the things that I'm thinking about in this moment is I wonder whether some people that have these more advanced kind of things that go on or stuff that they got a little bit more of, because the Nephilim, which were mix of human and Anunnaki. I wonder if they continued to procreate, because they do talk about it in there, but their offspring created this, and that there's some people that have just a little bit more of the Anunnaki DNA in their energetic vibration. I that's interesting. And I wonder if those people were people Jesus and Buddha and these other...
Who were able to turn it on a little bit more, had more codons that were activated as opposed to others. So they're able to do something a little bit different. It seemed like it was just absolutely magic and miraculous to other people who didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, maybe instead of 50% Anunnaki, they were 75% Anunnaki, and they had more things go on.
Yeah.
That's a good theory.
That's entirely a possibility. And I think
Jesus was more Anunnaki.
Maybe. I think that there... When we start looking at the similarities of how these ascended masters or people who are just kind of capable of doing a little bit more, who stood out as individuals of their entire time, I think it's really interesting to look at how these people tended to stand out in the same ways.
Yeah.
It wasn't always 100% exactly the same, but this person could perform miracles. This person could perform miracles. This person was incredibly quick of mind. This person was incredibly quick of mind. It just, when you start kind of looking at it, I'm not saying they're all the same person, but I am saying that kind of going back to the codon concept, that it makes sense that when these extra elements might be turning on or might be firing, that they're going to be the same ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and quite the opposite too, because you all know some people that are a little like special.
Well, absolutely,
but
that's like the animal. That's the animal kingdom, right?
No. But listen to this though, like because
You enjoying this so far? Did you forget to subscribe? Make sure to do so. Takes 2 seconds. Just press that little button, the red one. You know the one. Just press it. Little like. All right, enjoy the rest of this content.
Listen to this though, like because so you still had the, like Homo erectus and other things, and you had the Neanderthals and everything.
Sure, yeah.
So there was evolution that was going on simultaneously, and this evolution was able to procreate with the new Homo sapiens. So there is like when they do genetic testing, they can find Neanderthal blood in your system.
Absolutely.
And so I wonder if people that are just a little bit more, not quite as activated, maybe have a little less of our pure human DNA, and they have a little bit more Neanderthal and other things like that.
I certainly think it's one to.
Because we're talking about the
it-
special people, and we're also talking about the people that maybe like just seem more primitive mind. Like they want to get in the fights, they want to do more
Right.
response and more like like they're more of that primitive mindset. I'm just like, again, I'm throwing things out there. I have
totally.
I'm just thinking off my feet, but I'm wondering if this starts to showcase a lot for people, right? Because it doesn't mean, again, there's nothing wrong with anybody of how they are. I'm just, there's a very different variety of humans that exist.
Yeah.
And there's a very
I think
different,
without a doubt. Sure.
and so I'm just saying to give us more variety over time, there was also all of these other hybrids that were happening that could have had, whether it was a little bit more Anunnaki or a little bit more of some of the primitive, kind of
At what
humanoid
point do you
people.
pass that tipping point of kind of having codon number 23 activated, or 24, or 25, 26? That's something we don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that it's not that far of a stretch to realize that, so the genome sequence every 164th person, random number, every 164th person slips a little bit, and somebody ends up coming out with a little bit more capability. Okay, like these are the people.
These are the people that they're pulling in. They can move things off the floor.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You're like, how are you creating levitation?
Yeah, well, absolutely. The people that are breaking new, that are, I guess, participating in groundbreaking thoughts and theories that new mathematical appliances, or applications rather, to just being able to use it in certain ways, certain concepts. The people who are just out of nowhere breaking world records, unenhanced, but like in either running or pole vaulting or just something having to do with the ability and capability of the human body, and what it's able to achieve. Like that's somebody who's kind of activated and able to do something just so much better. They're the kind of that first one through the barrier. They're able to do it so much better that then kind of almost through the process of seeing that and witnessing that, bearing witness to it, that it's almost like the rest of the people around become activated through seeing that, like realizing, oh, wow, you can run a marathon in under, this time.
Or run under the 4-minute mile. Perfect example of that. Before then, science says it can't be done. And
exactly,
then,
the human body is structured to be able to handle that.
And then the moment that, oh my God, I'm slipping on his name. Eric with a B. Bannister, no. What?
Who?
Yeah, he ran the 4-minute mile. The year he did it, nobody did it. And then this is exactly that. He breaks it. He runs under a 4-minute mile. That same year, like I forget how many. It was like in the tens. It wasn't like a huge amount, but it was like maybe like 17 people or something like that. And it ran it under 4 minutes, but nobody ever did it before. And then the following year after that, even a more greater population was able to do it. And so far, then now it's like that's easy. Now they're breaking like under, like way better records than that.
Absolutely.
So that goes into that belief system of I can see it and then I can believe it. I can open my mind to a possibility because
Precisely.
I think beyond all of this is, some people might be hearing this and saying, oh, well, we were created as slaves and all of that. But like, stop and you can look at that kind of thing, or we have this amazing life experience that we're a fraction of our capacity is tapped into. And when I say a fraction of it, and like we don't even know what we're powerful, how powerful we can be. But if there's things like that have occurred throughout history, of people becoming aware and then being able to create, do, or achieve. It's like, how much more can we do, right? How many more, like, what's our capability? And, 20 is less than a third of our codons. So, like, we're at less than a third of our potential right now.
If you like this content, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment below. And we also have amazing link right there for some cool product. I know you want to check it out. I know you want to click it. Go ahead. Come on. You can do it. All right. Until next time, have a beautiful, blessed day.